Welcome to episode 3 of Work Hard, Dream Big with your host, Shelby McGill. Today, it's a Get to Know Me podcast. I'm going to be talking about my life, my story, where I come from, a little bit about my background, why I started this podcast. So tune in, like, share, let me know what you think, and I hope everyone enjoys. Thanks for listening. Okay, so me, where do I begin? So, as most of my friends and family know, I'm a huge soccer fanatic. Played soccer since I was 5 years old. Started out in a very small rec team in McGill, Oklahoma. My coach changed my life. That I had a talent most kids didn't have at that age. And he really influenced me to continue playing and getting better each day, even at 5 years old. And so I played for a few different teams, had great coaches, great role models throughout my career. High school came along. I became pretty excited, and I knew I wanted to go to college and play ball. And so got through high school, hit a few speed bumps. My sophomore year of high school was probably my biggest. Second day of school, I tore my ACL playing for my competitive team and wasn't sure how fast the recovery was going to be, how good I was going to be after the recovery. It left a lot of empty space in my head as to not knowing what God's plan for me was. And so, had a great doctor, had a great therapist. Look at her like my mother. Had surgery, went through that, came back 9 months later, got released the same day I played my first game back. And my coach said, we're not going to play you that much. We're just going to ease you back into it. Didn't start the game as expected. He put me in about 15 minutes later, and I basically played the whole game. And hearing the crowd, I say the crowd, this is here, Oklahoma we're talking about, there's not a crowd. Hearing, my family and my friends in the stands cheer me on and scream my name as I ran on that field, with my knee brace on and nerve shaking. I was so terrified as to, I didn't know how, my knee was going to hold up or me mentally. And so hearing that, I had tears running onto the field just because 9 months had went by and I had went through 3 days a week of therapy with tears and sweat and frustration. I wasn't sure how I was coming back. And so to hear all the support I had behind me through it all was life-changing. They really changed how I came back in as fast as I came back. My teammates supported me. It was just a big, big moment in my career where I knew I had a family and support team behind me through life, not just through soccer, through life in general. And so it was a great stepping stone for my career and my life. So anyways, I got recruited by some colleges, had a couple different offers, decided to stay close to home through many decisions and outcomes. I had many reasons to stay close to home, and so I did. I played 2 years at Rose State. It was a journey. It wasn't nothing like I expected. It was nothing like high school. It was hard, waking up at 5:30 in the morning to go work out with these girls and your coach that had your back. You were all in it together. It was being about something bigger than yourself to me. It was, like I said, nothing like high school. I learned a lot about myself. I learned that it doesn't matter how big or small you are. You all put your pants on the same way. You all get up in the morning. You start your day. You eat your breakfast. You all have to make a living at your life. You all have to start somewhere and work your way up. Nothing is giving to you. And I learned that really slow going through college, because I was used to starting every game in high school. I was used to scoring all these goals. I was used to, people knowing who I was in a small town of Hare, America. And in college, you were just somebody. I mean, people congratulated you after the game, and you may not have started that game. You may have not had the best game, and you didn't get, told good job after the game. And that's just how college is. It's a different level of playing. And playing to that level really made me grow as a human being. And I learned everyone learns a different way. Everyone adapts to new things in different ways. Everyone evolves and becomes their own people in different ways. Everyone has their own opinions. And guess what? That is okay. Everyone has that privilege to have their own opinions and speak it. But if you don't agree with them, it's not okay to just shut their opinion down. It's, they have a reason to believe that. You have to respect that and, adapt to your surroundings. You really have to do that in collegiate level sports, in my opinion. And so it was an experience. There was lots of times I said, this is tough. Maybe I should quit. Maybe it's too rough. And maybe I should just quit. I mean, quitting was never an option in my family, but it crossed my mind. And I talked to my dad about it, and he said, you just have to push till the end. You committed to this. You have to finish it and give it your 110% all. And you will never look back and say, I experienced that. I learned from it. I completed it. I succeeded in something that I committed to and planned to. And I did it. I mean, that is honestly the biggest thing that most people say they can't do, is finish something. And so it was a huge milestone in my life to be able to play my last game with all the girls and create the friendships and support team that I had in college as well as high school. Sports to me are just so socially evolving. I mean, if it wasn't for soccer, I wouldn't be who I was today. No doubt about it. I mean, it honestly crafted me into the person I am today. No doubt. I worked harder at things. I believed in things. I believed in goals and dreams because of soccer. And I will teach my kids that one day. It is so important to me that you finish what you start and you give it your 110% all. Because if not, you're going to, one, be miserable doing it. And two, you're going to look back and say, what if? What if I didn't, what if I finished that? Or what if I'd tried a little bit harder there? Or what if I'd maybe asked questions there? Or maybe what if I put in a little more effort doing this? You're never going to know your end result unless you try it. They say the stupidest question asked is no question at all. And that's, to me, so true. You never know the answer unless you ask it. And the worst thing people can say is no. But you can say at least you tried. So anyways, moving sideways a little bit, lots of people have asked why I've started this podcast. They've asked what my end result is. The end result, summing it up in a short sentence, is I started this podcast to inspire the younger generation, actually any generation I can, to follow their dreams. I wake up every day and I realize I have one opportunity. It is only June 15th, 2018, one time. It is only today, one time. For 24 hours, I have the ability to make something of June 15th, 2018. And so, if I can inspire somebody else to give 110%, even if it's at that college class, at that soccer game, at that basketball game, at that speech contest, at that ag show, at, waking up and making their bed in the morning. If I can inspire somebody to do that, I've left some kind of impression on somebody. And that impression can lead to another impression and another impression from other people. And it's a chain of life-changing events in people's lives. And today's world, to me, is so dark. Everyone is just so negative. I mean, you wake up and you go to work and you're just miserable. And it's like, okay, if you're miserable, make something of your day. I understand life gets hard and a lot of things happen. Bad things happen to good people and bad people. But somebody somewhere is taking their last breath as I speak right now. And to me, it is only God's plan for me to try and inspire somebody else to make that last breath memorable. Every single breath you take should be a step in the direction of positive or happiness. And I don't know what that could be. It could be anything. It could be you getting that new job. It could be you stepping into a new field and a degree. It could be you getting that promotion. It could be you teaching your children discipline. It could be teaching your dogs to sit. I don't know, but there's a purpose for everything, and it is only your responsibility to do something with that purpose. And I believe in that 110%. You are the change you wish to see in your life, not in the world, but in your life, you are the change that needs to happen. And so I am doing this to try and make the change in my life that I believe God has put on me. I have been talking to a bunch of people, hopefully, bringing some people in, trying to gain trust with people to let me tell their stories to inspire other people. That is my end result. And let me tell you, I am blessed. I don't have a sappy story. I don't have a story that makes people say, wow, I really feel sorry for her, or that poor girl. I don't. I was raised great. I have great parents, great grandparents, great sisters. I have an amazing boyfriend. I have a support team that has always supported me. I am blessed. I went to a great school. I went to a great college. I've made great friendships. I've got a job. I've got 2 dogs. I've got a place to live, a roof over my head, food in the refrigerator, water in my faucet. I have got it made. Nothing to complain about. And so it's hard for me to tell this story and give y'all, a sappy, oh, well, feel sorry for me for this. I don't have a story like that. I have been truly blessed. But I also feel that most 21-year-olds do not think like I do. I believe that I am blessed because I can see the things I don't take for granted. That is one of my biggest things is, I've still got my grandparents. I go and see them every chance I can get. I have my parents. I know they're not going to be here forever. I understand that 110%. I believe in God. I have a religious belief behind me. And that doesn't scare me at all. Losing them doesn't scare me at all. It scares me to know that I didn't take the time that I had with them and do something with it. That is what scares me. And so I take the time that I have now and grasp it to my most capable ability, because I feel like a lot of people just go through their daily lives and blow it off like they are promised tomorrow. You are not. You could pull out of your driveway. You could wake up in the morning, roll out of bed, and the roof fall down. You are not promised tomorrow. You are not promised the next second. I'm not promised to publish this podcast. I have no idea what the future holds. But one thing I do know is I know who holds my future, and I know that I can do something about that. I know that the time that I am given and promised by God, I can do something with. And so, my goal in this podcast is to change a life. One life, my goal is accomplished. So every day I wake up, I can change a life today. I can change another life. Let's change another life today. That is my look on this podcast. I don't have to make millions. I'm making a single dime doing this podcast. Making $0. And I put a lot of money into this podcast. And it's still not perfect. I don't have the best equipment. I don't have money I can just sit on. But I have a story to tell. And I have a reason to tell those stories. And so I'm going to do so to the best of my abilities. Kind of turning away and not pulling on the heartstrings so much. I enjoy a lot of things. I enjoy the outdoors. I love hunting, fishing, riding dirt bikes. I grew up on a farm. My dad taught me basically hard work is a necessity in life. So work hard in anything you do. He taught me that. Taught me you have to have a sense of humor, or you're more than likely not going to get along with anybody in your workplace, school, teachers, grocery store visitors, anybody. You're just not going to get along with them. So I like to think my sense of humor is pretty good. I diehard country music fan. If anybody knows me, they know my all-time favorite inspiration is Carrie Underwood. To me, it's amazing to think that a small town, Oklahoma girl, literally, from Chakota, Oklahoma, makes it to be one of the biggest stars in the world. That's just mind-blowing to me. I have, like I said, 2 dogs that are basically my children. I live in not such a home people would think I live in. I've grown to the person I am today from people in my life, and I'm thankful for them. I have lots of goals, lots of places I want to visit, lots of people I want to meet, lots of things I want to do, and only time and money standing in my way in doing so. So lots of big plans for me in the future. I want to know what everyone thinks of this podcast. I want to know what everyone thinks of all my podcasts. Give me some ideas, some advice, opinions. Let me know your stories. Let me hear you. Life is great, and people's stories need to be heard. So let me know what everyone thinks, and I appreciate you very much for listening and getting all in the feelings and stuff with me. Like, share if you do. Send me an email, message. Let me know what you think. Comment. Thank you for being a part of this. This concludes episode 3 of Work Hard, Dream Big with your host, Shelby McGill. Thanks for tuning in and listening.